heritage
That's awesome.
as well.
Everything good in life?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought you were going over your notes. You been good?
Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, no, things are definitely, things are good. Things are really like, but it's almost like there's so much going on now that it's like I need to like recenter myself, you know? So
Yeah, we get in the habit of saying, yep, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. And then
yeah, and then, you know,
hold on, we got to say no sometimes here.
yeah, and working part-time again at my architecture firm has been great. And definitely, you know, and I certainly makes my parents happy that I'm still doing my major. But it's definitely been a transition from like, you know, I thought I was going to do all this work in the morning, but I'm actually a night owl. So I actually do better work at night. But then by the time I get up in the morning, then I have to go to work, and then I'm tired when I get home from work, and then I need to work. It's just like I need to figure out like my, you know, because I can't forget about Beachbody stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
Turning night owls into the morning risers is always tough.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'll be out there. Can you give me 2 minutes? All right. All right. Cool. So I think we'll get this party started. You ready for it?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right, everybody. Tuesday. What do we got? The 11th of October, 2016. And we have Calli, our very own Calli Scheidt, giving us the talk here today. Calli has, how long have you been in the business, Calli?
A little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years. So in those little over 2 years, 28 months as a Success Club 5 legend, she is a 2-star coach, success starter, team leader, all around awesome coach, kind of doing a little bit of everything as far as working and building a business, and just finding out the way to do that and bring it all together to not only just grow her business and help her team grow their businesses as well, but to continue to share what we do as coaches with as many people as possible. So today, Calli is going to talk a little bit about keeping your head high. You know, going into that last quarter of the year, usually is like, all right, come on, here we go. We got to find that inner motivation. So, looking forward to hearing how she does that and sharing with all of us. And without further ado, Calli, I'm going to turn it on over to you. Okay.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. See, can I make myself big? Is that a thing? No.
You're full screen for everybody else.
Everybody? I just get to look at your beautiful face the whole time. Awesome. Okay. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for hopping on. I hope, you know, this is a talk. I was just telling Tony and Lindsay before that this is something that I actually, you know, need as well, because we all need a little extra motivation and pump up sometimes. So, but this is what has gotten me through the last 28 months. And so I hope that it translates well into you guys. So I want to start with something that I'm a pretty spiritual person, and I actually truly believe that, you know, we all have an aura around us, and we have an energy, we have an electromagnetic field, if you want to get scientific about it. So this electromagnetic field actually comes from your thoughts. It stems from your thoughts, which is kind of weird to think about, but it's true. And it, you know, if you've ever felt, you know, if you've ever been around someone who you kind of like felt this like, you're like feeling down, you're like feeling this negative vibe. And it's probably because they're thinking negative thoughts and they're just like more of a negative person. And then you're around someone who's upbeat and happy, and you just feel this like, you're like, man, I feel good, you know, around this person. And so it's a very, very real thing. Now, what we do as coaches is not necessarily in person all the time, which makes that, the computer is a boundary. The screens are this like energy cutoff. So we think. I'm a firm believer that it doesn't matter. Energy absolutely comes through phones. It comes through computers. Like if you, like through your words, and you're not going to have positive energy, good energy words if you don't have positive energy, good energy thoughts. Okay. So the point of this is that energy translates. And when you are down in the dumps about your business and you are like, I'm not a good coach, I'm not feeling it, my team isn't doing anything, why isn't this working? Whatever you could come up with, and they're very real things. We all go through them, sometimes daily. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, I'm awesome, and then something happens, you get a message from someone saying no, and you're like, I'm the worst. And no, you're not the worst. But I think it translates to your team. And the biggest part is you have to be very sensitive. You are the leader of your team. And if you aren't thinking positive things, if you aren't feeling positive, your team is going to feel that, period. Like, not a question. You might be posting happy things and all this stuff, but if you don't have positive thoughts, then you're not going to have positive words. You could try to type positive words, but it's not going to actually come through. You can absolutely feel a difference. And so I think one of the things that has helped me throughout this entire 28 months, I've had very loyal coaches. Yay, Team A Spirit. And I'm so blessed to have people who've started with me 28 months ago and are still with me, whether they're building or not, and I think, keeping loyal coaches, and then having them respect you and trust you and trust your word and work for you in a sense. So sometimes like you need motivation to work for someone else. Like I want to help her get to that goal. Sometimes you need to just like forget about your own goals, because if you're just like, I don't have motivation right now, maybe that's your motivation. Sometimes you do because you love them, you care about your coaches, you care about all this stuff. So, when they have this, when you have this energy for them, then they want to be around you. They want to talk to you. They want to be on your team because it brings the positive energy to them. Which then goes to my second thought, that every coach matters. I was gonna be like, coach lives matter. But, no, I mean, every single person on your team, you can't look at the big picture too much. If you look at the big picture too much and be like, I want to be 10-star, I need 40 active coaches. Whoa, right? Like that's a lot. And you kind of forget about, then you start looking at numbers and you start looking at your coaches as numbers, and not in a bad way. Like obviously we love our coaches, but in the grand scheme of things, you're like, I need 40 active coaches and I'm not getting them and I'm not recruiting them this month. And I'm not attracting people and my team isn't doing anything. And I have this goal of 10-star. And so it's great. That's yay, have a goal of 10-star, but you cannot forget about every single coach on your team. Keeping your head high is looking past the crapola, and seeing what your team actually is and being able to love them and to show every single one of them your attention and your love and being there for them. And in return, they will be there for you. So part of keeping your head high is also knowing that it's okay to be human, and that if you exude this positive energy and you don't let your team be negative and think negative things and get down on the silly stuff. Like I had 8 people say no to me today. I'm doing something wrong. I'm the worst. I'm not good at this. Then your team is going to feel that. And if your team feels that, then it's just this negative downward spiral. But if you are paying attention to each and every one and being grateful and thankful for each and every coach and giving them that attention and that love and being positive when maybe they're being negative. And even if you want to be negative too, don't do that. Fake it till you make it. It's absolutely a fake it till you make it game. You can tell your brain anything, and what you feed your brain is what actually is. So, if you feed your brain these negative things, then that's your reality. These negative things are your reality. If you feed your brain these positive things, like my team, look, I had, we had great volume last week, or hey, we helped you helped one person in the month of September or whenever. That you helped one person. Maybe they're having an amazing transformation. Maybe you got one coach on board and their life is changed because they now have time to spend with their kid. They're not running out the door. They have Shaco because they don't have to make, lunch or breakfast for 20 minutes, and they can get their kids out the door, or any sort of way. If it's one person, okay, so you didn't reach Success Club. Reach Success Club. But, don't think that don't go all negative. You have to think about the small stuff. You have to think about that one person that you're changing, that one coach that needs you to be there, that one coach that needs your attention, and your love and your positive energy. And if you give that to them, then you're going to have loyalty in your team. And again, when you're human and you're having a bad day, I wouldn't necessarily go posting about that. I think it's okay to be human, and I think it's good to be human. If there's something big, like there was something big that happened in my life recently, and I just reached out to my team, and not in a sour way. I was just like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm not going to be all over. I'm just taking a couple of days from social media to like breathe and do my own thing. Obviously I'm here for you, whatever. And the outreach and the outpour of positive energy and the love and willing to pick up where I left off was just incredible. And I think it made me realize, like, all those times that I wanted to be negative, or I wanted to be like, guys, we're not working hard enough, or, kind of going on this negative path of we're not good enough, or we could be better. Really, not going down that path has really created this culture of, we all keep our head high. We all look at the bigger picture of, well, but we're helping someone, or, well, okay, we want to reach here, but at the same time, like, you have to celebrate your small victories. You have to celebrate your small victories. If you don't, to be quite honest, most of us never reach our goals. And if you reach your goal, then your goal is not big enough. So you have to celebrate the small things along the way. And part of that comes with positive affirmations. And I noticed that when I stopped doing my positive affirmations, it's a downward spiral. And sorry, I'm talking really fast. I'm high energy, and this is a near and dear topic to my heart. I will slow down for a second. So positive affirmations, I know that you hear a lot about them from top coaches and everything, and they're not a joke. They're not this like little, unicorn, rainbow butterfly situation. Like, oh, we should all have positive affirmations. I write things on my mirror sometimes, like, you're awesome. I don't know. You're gonna help 3 people this month. Help change people's, like, whatever I need to hear. I don't know. Write it on a Post-it note and stick it on your forehead, or stick it on a fridge, or on your bathroom mirror. Until you get used to kind of, you can train your brain into constantly having these positive affirmations, and waking up and saying, today's gonna be a good day, and I'm gonna reach out to 3 people, and we're gonna have great conversations. Not that they're gonna say yes, because that's not what it's all about, but that you're gonna build these relationships, and and then you're gonna reach out to your coaches and make sure that they're doing well, and give them a little pep talk, and that you're a good person, and all these things that, because realistically, you are a good person, and you are a good coach, and you're trying your best. And if you know that you're trying your best, and you're doing what you can, then give yourself credit, pat yourself on the back. So positive affirmations do go a long way. And again, if you are not used to telling yourself that, then, again, write them places. And it's going to feel cheesy. It's going to feel stupid. You're going to be like, wow, like I'm really, it's hard as a humble person to boost yourself up, but you absolutely should, and you absolutely need to. I mean, don't get cocky about it. I mean, like, I'm the best person in the world, and I deserve everything. Like, okay. But you know what I mean? So, and another way to do that is asking yourself 3 questions a day. And you can decide what those 3 questions are. Maybe it's, how can I show my team more love today? How can I, if you're a spiritual person with faith, then, how can I serve God in, a better way today than I did yesterday? Or, what action can I do to serve God better, or, to connect with him more? All these, so you kind of start asking yourself these questions, and it then leads you down this, oh, well, that it gives you a to-do list, almost a spiritual positive to-do list. How can I how can I be there for my family more today? What's one thing I can do to be there for my family more today? And it could be simply sending a text to your entire family saying, I love you. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be this big action, but it starts the process of going down a path of positive things and feeding your positive soul. When you start doing things for someone else, you feel really good. When you start doing things for yourself, like getting closer to God, or if that's what you want to do, or that's kind of my journey right now, is really my spiritual journey. And it's been awesome. But recognizing, okay, I'm here and I want to be here, whether it's positive thoughts, whether it's with your family, whether it's spiritually, whatever it is. And you have to dive into this, what does that path look like? Well, we don't really know sometimes, but what's that first step? And sometimes those questions help with the first step of your little path. And again, it's keeping you up here and not like, I'm the worst, this day sucks. And it's like, no, that's not your focus anymore. Your focus is getting here and asking yourself these questions and telling yourself positive affirmations. And, you got to feed your soul the right stuff, because, people ask me how I'm so happy and positive and optimistic all the time. And guys, I went through severe depression. When I was in middle school, I moved to Asia. And that was, 7th grade. Middle school is already really rough, and I left everything, went to Asia. And for 2 years I was, and when you're overseas, if anyone's been a third culture kid or an expat, that there's a lot of ins and outs of people, especially in the military. Singapore was a Navy base, so every 2 to 3 years your friends were leaving. So the culture there was, you don't really get close to people because they leave you. It was a very depressing thing. So, it was very, very, very hard to go in. Of course, they were used to new people, so new people were welcomed. But as far as having friends, I didn't have like a group of friends until sophomore year of high school that I could like trust and know, because at that point you either staying or you're leaving. Like, you're either staying through high school. So we kind of were able to put our guards down and all this stuff. But through that process, I've been there. I've been through the depression. My parents are divorced. Like, I don't have a perfect life. I'm lonely. I'm an only child, and I hate being alone. So, it's like I've had to go through all these mental things, and I realized that it's really hard. It's so easy to be depressed, but actually it's kind of hard to be depressed too. Like, you have to constantly think about these awful negative things. So if I'm going to try hard to like be negative, why shouldn't I try just a little harder? Because it is a little harder to be positive. And so in high school, I kind of realized, I started calling them Calliisms. And if, you really can manifest anything you want in your brain. I could say that I'm a 35-year-old horseback riding Olympic champion who, I don't know, is best friends with Taylor Swift. Sure. If I tell myself that enough times, you better believe I'm going to start horseback riding. Eventually I'll be 30. I'm going to start acting like a 35-year-old, and I'll probably start stalking Taylor Swift. So, I mean, you really could like create this thing in your mind. And the same thing goes to, I'm an awful person who is not loyal and is not trustworthy, and I am basically a child. I'm not mature enough to handle this. I'm a bad parent because whatever. Then you're going to be a bad parent. You're not going to be trustworthy. You're not going to be loyal because like your brain isn't on the same path. So you have to just try, and it's not easy. People say I have it easy because I'm naturally positive and happy. Yep. Okay. Every day it's a struggle. But if I tell myself that people need me to be positive today, then I'm positive. And it's not fake because then I switch my brain into positive mode and it just naturally happens. But sometimes it is fake, and that's okay. Because at least you're being positive fake and you're not being like fake, I don't know, whatever other fake ways. It's fake positivity is probably the least bad fake thing you can be. So then, yeah, you can tell I'm just like all about this. So all of that also then goes into integrity. So, okay, fine. You have to fake it till you make it sometimes with your thoughts, with your positivity, with your team, being like, guys, we're doing so well, like when maybe you're not. But you don't have to tell them that. I mean, come on. Like if you think you're doing well, you can say, you need to give, positive feedback, feedback is good, right? And kind of having some tough love and being very honest and saying, here are the things we need to work on and whatever. But, I'm so proud because they don't work for you. I mean, it's different in a company, right? When you work for someone in a company and you have your reviews and all this stuff, like they can say, you're not performing here, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And you have an obligation to then perform in that way because they are paying you, but you're not paying your coaches. This is totally up to them. So, I think positive feedback is good, and being honest about, maybe post more X, Y, and Z, or, let's talk through a conversation and see how you're dealing with whatever. But kind of hounding down on, having expectations is good, but it's their job to meet the expectations. And you can only continue to just say, here are my expectations. Here are my expectations. If you want to be here, these are the expectations. Not like I expect you, because sometimes they just want to sell a shake or two every once in a while. Like, don't make them feel like they're not good enough if they're not hitting Success Club, or they're not, it's not about you. So if you have integrity with what, within who you are, and you spread that to your team, then you won't have to feel like you're, we say not to manage your team. And I think that's really, you can't manage your team because they don't work for you. But if you are doing things with integrity and being genuine about you caring about each and every coach, if you have integrity, and you truly believe in what you're doing and what you're saying and how you're feeling and the positivity that you're spreading, if you truly vibe with that and you're feeling and you're like, this is me and this is how I want to run my team and I am running it, I'm helping who I want the way I want to, and I think I'm doing a good job, then when the bad days come or when the bad months come, we certainly go through, bad months. It happens. When those come, they're not as hard to get through because you have been genuine and you've had integrity this whole time. So if you truly feel like you're doing your best and you truly feel like you're putting the best to your team and you're putting yourself forward and you're sharing that positivity and you're changing at yourself, you're reading your personal development and you're doing your stuff, then those bad months aren't a reflection of you. They're a reflection of a lot of things. Most of the time, not you. Sometimes they are, you have to be honest with yourself. Maybe you weren't working as hard or whatever, but it's easier to get through the bad times when you genuinely feel that you have given your all and you've done your best. And you've led with integrity and you've led your team with good examples. It's really, we can't control them. So it's really up to them to take your lead and follow it, or not. And it's okay if not. You know, sometimes I had a coach that kind of sat there for 2 years and then decided, hey, I'm going to do something, you know? But I was there every single time. I was there. Like, it didn't matter. I didn't make her feel bad. I knew that I was there when she was ready to, you know, take flight. I was there. I wasn't, you know, disregarding her. Sometimes we disregard our discount coaches. You don't disregard your discount coaches. They still need you. They're still there for a reason. They're not a number. They're not a number to get you to rank. They're a person. And you cannot forget that they are people. And maybe they like their discount. Awesome. But you have to include them in things, and you have to continue to reach out. You know, maybe it's once a month. You know, you can kind of decide that with your discount coaches. You know, hey, how often do you want to talk to me? Like, I don't want to bother you, you know, but you're on my team, so I care. You know, so reaching out, keeping them in your challenge groups, of course, and just making sure they're taken care of. And guess what? You won't have many discount coaches leaving you. I promise you that. If you treat them not like a discount coach, and a person that you genuinely care about, they won't be leaving you after 3 months. They won't be canceling their you know, maybe they might delay because maybe the money, but, you know, as far as, you know, they respect you, and they like what you're doing. And if you're being, you know, if you have integrity and you're being genuine, then people want to be a part of that. There isn't much integrity anymore in this world. And people appreciate when, you know, there's someone who cares and there's someone they feel like is a good person. And trying hard. So that's kind of, I guess I can end with, this is Developing the Leader Within You. Great book. John Maxwell, the man. Tony, you know all about him. So integrity is not what we do so much as who we are. And who we are, in turn, determines what we do. News is so much a part of us, we cannot separate it from ourselves. It becomes the navigating system that guides us. It establishes priorities in our lives and judges what we will accept or reject. And guys, integrity then starts with your thoughts. And if you have positive thoughts, then you will start understanding that part in yourself, you know, that he says, you know, your values are so much a part of you that you can't separate it from you. And your values start with your thoughts, and your values start with your heart. So, you know, start there and start kind of exuding this, you know, looking at the small things, celebrating the small stuff, and, you know, kind of realizing how you want to lead your team and the vibe that you want on your team. And then that will then lead to growing your integrity and growing who you are as a person. So remember, energy translates, your thoughts translate into your electromagnetic aura field. I'm such a dork. Yeah, so I kind of needed that. I'm feeling a little more pumped up. And I hope you guys are too. So just a quick little pump up day for you. And you guys will see me tonight.
Yes.
Double whammy call.
Awesome. Yeah. Calli will be on a few other coaches tonight on the sneak peek. So start talking to people right now, letting them know that there's a coaching sneak peek. And the people that are, you know, have been on the fence this whole year and are like, hey, I want to join that team, but I don't know what exactly you're doing. Tonight's a great time to invite, because there's going to be some awesome coaches: Calli, Lindsay, Kelly,
Jesse, and
yep.
Natalie. Yeah,
and,
Nicole.
Yep, Nicole. Yeah. So yeah, these girls just love hanging out together. So just, you know, being around that energy, I think people are going to love to see that as well. And going back to the call, Calli, awesome. Yes, the small things. You know, each day a victory is a victory. You know, I heard a lady talk. You know, her number one thing is making the bed. You know, it's like, you know, if the whole day kind of just falls apart, I walk up to my room, I see that bed's made, and I know that I did something, you know.
Apparently in the military, that's the requirements to make your bed, and it's not because they're ridiculous and have you make your bed, but it's like starting your day, accomplishing one thing. You know, it's like, my bed looks good.
Awesome. And if that's all you get throughout the day, you know, you've still accomplished something. So those small things, you know, helping that coach, helping that customer, helping somebody realize that they can actually do this. Some people don't think that they can work out. Some people don't think that they can get healthy. Some people don't think they can make changes. A small victory for us as a coach is helping someone change that belief system. But that's huge for somebody else. That's huge for that person.
Yep.
So and the as far as how we're talking to ourselves, I dropped Reebok over at Betty's, and Inside Out was playing, and it was just right at the end, and I picture this when I'm always sitting there thinking, like, how they have the different emotions controlling the control board, joy and sadness.
I love that movie.
We need all those things. Yeah, it's awesome. And the life lessons it teaches is incredible. Because we need all of those emotions to be whole. We need to have some distinguishes between when we're happy, when we're sad. Those are easy, but we need to know when something's off so that we can make a change. Right? Something feels off. When we get good at knowing who we are and what's going on, as soon as that little thing's off, now we know that we have to go looking for it to fix it. So asking those questions, like Calli said, what is it that I can do that's going to make myself a little bit better? How can I grow my relationship with my coaches? How can I grow my relationship with my son, with my daughter? When we ask ourselves that, now our brain, because that's what it does, it starts to crank. All right. Well, you could do this. Well, let me think. All right. Yeah, that would work. But pretty soon we're going to get this nice packaged answer, if we're receptive to it. All right. And we're doing it daily. A lot of times when we get off and we get off for too long, that's when, we're deceived. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So, always good to just slow things down, come back to where, all right, today, what's that one thing I'm going to accomplish that is going to help, me as a person, what's going to help my business, what's going to help the people around me, what's going to help my community. That's how that ripple effect works its way out. And, at times it's just that little ripple. At other times, there's huge waves of effect that are going out there. So, great call, Calli. And I knew you were going to bring it, and you backed it up. So I thank you for coming on. Looking forward to tonight's call with you and the rest of the ladies. And thanks all for watching this live. And if you're watching the recording, way to be proactive and go out and get that little nugget to grow yourself as well, because this is a great call. So share it with your coaches. Share it with people that may need to hear that little extra pep talk for themselves, and we'll see you all later. Love you guys. All right, take care.